Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another command that we can use with journaling. Okay, or you can say which is essential for enabling the journaling. If you remember, in our previous session, we discussed about the journal receiver command. There we saw entire process like how to create journal receiver, what all commands we are using, and also understand the meaning of journal receiver. Now we will take this session to further further step, and today we are going to discuss about the journal, like what is journal, and then we'll see what command we can use in order to create the journal. So you can say journal is nothing but a system generated object that take care or that monitors all the journal related things. Okay, so it's a object which we can attach with some receiver, and then by attaching after attaching it with some receiver, we can enable the journaling on a specific file for which we want to monitor the changes like insertion, updation, deletion, or any kind of modification to that particular file. It could be physical file, it could be your SQL table, so both things we can utilize in order to perform journaling. Okay, so yeah, so this is all about the journal, like how we can what is the exact definition for journal. Now whenever someone asks you in a question like what is journal, so you can simply say that it is a system generate maintained object that is attached with some receiver in order to start journaling. Fine. Now question is here, the next question is how we can create the journal. So it is quite simple. The command is quite simple. It is a combination of three characters. So the first three character is CRT, which is indicating create. Okay, whenever you are using any command and you want to create something, then the initial three character would be CRT, create. Then the next three characters is JRN, which is representing journal. So if you learn the command or if you write the command in this way, it would be easy for you to remember it for the long, because CRT create, JRN journal. Then simply press F4 from your keyboard. Once you press F4, it will open this screen where you are supposed to provide some parameters, and there are multiple parameters we can provide to it, but for time being we will just focus on the main parameter which is required for now, because later once we move for the advanced sessions, then maybe we will discuss and we will see how we can change these things like manage receiver, delete receiver and all. But for now we will just focus on the basic thing. Fine. Now let's say if you are using this command for the very first time and you are not aware of this command and you are not familiar with this command. So in this case I will tell you one trick through which you can learn any command, not only this, any command. So what you can do, simply press your cursor on this white text, create journal, and then simply press F1. Once you press F1, it will open a help screen where you will find all the related information to this command. Okay, like definition, restrictions, parameter details. You can see these are all the details that related to the parameters. Then at last you will find some examples as well. If you would like to refer some example, you can go down, just simply do page down till you reach the example portion, and then you can, yeah, here you can see, right, example 2 and then example 1, creating a journal with larger object limit. So in this case you can see we are changing the receiver, right, max opt3. So these are the advanced thing, but at the moment if I explain you all these things, then it would be bit complex for you, so better to go in a sequential manner, and from easy to hard we will move. Okay, firstly we will learn the easy things, and then later step by step we will proceed for the advanced one. Now similarly, if you would like to handle these all messages in your program, let's say if you are working for a CL program, you are utilizing this in CL program, this command, then there we are supposed to take care of the error handling. So at that moment you would need these error messages, right? So just refer this and take reference from this list. It will provide you all the list like resource exceeded on ASP, press help. So if this type of error is occur, then this is the ID. Okay, this is the advanced thing, maybe you can learn later, but for now we will just focus on the basic one. So let's start with the definition, like what is the definition we have got here. So here it is saying the create journal CRTJRN command creates a journal as local journal with the specified attributes and attaches the specified journal receiver to the journal. Okay, once a journal is created, object changes can be journal to it. All kind of changes like insertion, updation, and any other deletion or modification process will be journal to the receiver. Once a journal is created, object changes can be journaled to it, or user entries can be sent to it. Okay, all the user entry can be sent to it. The journal state of the created journal is active. The journal state of the created journal is always active, star active. So this is a journal. So whenever someone asks you in an interview question, what is journal command and CRT journal command and what is journal? So in that case, you can simply say journal is an object that we can use to attach with some receivers, and then later we can easily enable the journaling to a specific file or table as per our requirement. So this is the perfect answer. Especially those who are experienced member, I would recommend you to learn and take a note of all these points, because these are very important questions for interview perspective. If you have experience, and if you are just a fresher level, you are preparing for fresher interviews, still I would recommend you to learn these things, because if you tell the interviewer that you know about journaling, then it would be very beneficial for you. Okay, fine. Now after this we have some restriction noted down here which is related to the journal, so you can read out. Like first one is a journal cannot be created in the library QTemp. So these are all the restrictions. So let's say if you are creating some specific journal and if you are getting some issues, so I would recommend you to go and check out all these restrictions, because there might be some reason mentioned here due to which you are facing the issues. Okay, so this is all about the restrictions for the CRTJRN command. Then we have some details related to the parameters, what all parameters we can specify. But instead of here, I will press simply hit enter, and here I will tell you what all parameter we are going to specify. So if I hit enter, enter on the blank screen, it will highlight those fields which is important for today's sessions. Okay, so you can see, firstly we are supposed to provide the journal name. It could be anything, any name you can specify here. So let's say if I want to create a journal with name testjrn, because if you remember in our last session we created the receiver with name testrcv. So this time I'm going to use the same standard, and I'm going to create the testjrn. Then we are supposed to provide the library. So to provide the library, you can simply write Sharmit1. Okay, so what it will do, it will create the journal inside Sharmit1 library. Then we have a journal receiver field where we can pass the journal receiver field. Let's say uh, we have already created that. That's why we have covered this session for journal receiver command first, because that is the need of today's session, right? If you don't have receiver, then how can we create the journal receiver? So for that, you can provide the journal receiver name which you have already created. So in my case, it was testrcv. Then you are supposed to provide the library name. So in my case, library is Sharmit1, and then simply hit enter. Other two fields are not required for the moment, but if you would like to add these information later, you can. Okay, then simply hit enter, and okay, there is something wrong. Let me check. Take F4. Something is wrong here. Test JRN we are going to create. Library is Sharmit1. Then we have journal receiver as test RCV. Library is Sharmit1. Error. Okay, let me check by taking F1 on this text. Already contains the journal entries. Okay, so there is some journal entries, that's why it is not creating it. No problem, we will try with some other name, JRN1, or maybe because it is already created, let me delete those things. Work obj cr test JRN, it is not there. And if you look at the journal test RCV, it will show, yes, it is there. So let me remove this first by giving the option C. Ignore, it is deleted. Let me pause this video and then I will create my receiver again, because this is the question for today's session, so I don't want to show you the query right now. So I'm pausing it for a second and then we'll start again. Alright, so what I did, I just executed one command in order to create the general receiver with the name test RCV. This is the only thing that I have done after pausing the video. Now we will try to create again CRTJRN, and then I will provide the journal name test.jrn, and library is Sharmit1, and here I will put the test RCV and library is Sharmit1, hitting enter. So you can see this time it is allowing us to create the journal with the name test.jrn. The reason behind pausing this session is just to, I don't want to show you that command because we have already discussed, and this is the question for today's session. As you know, at the end of session we are asking the questions. So I have one question prepared for you that maybe you can, I know that you all know the command, so you can easily type that in comment section, but it is just for those who don't know the command, so that at least they can learn from the comment section as well, and if they are facing an issue they can feel free to write the queries in section so that we can learn more about it. Okay, so what we did, we just created the journal and attached the journal receiver to it. Okay, now what we will do, we will see the command work obj, which will provide us the object related details, and here I will put the journal test JRN, which is my object for journal, and hitting enter. You can see this is object and this is the type which we have just created, STRJRN in library Sharmit1. So this is created. Okay, fine. So yeah, this is all about today's session. Like we just discussed what is journal, how we can use CRTJRN command, and how to attach the journal receiver with it. Okay, now if I expand this scratchpad, there is one question for you. So that's why I paused the video, because I want to you guys to answer on this question: which command we can use to create journal receiver? I know you all are aware of it. Just put your efforts in typing the answer here so that you can easily identify uh, whether you are learning the things from the sessions or not, and it will also help you in a interview session as well. Okay, so you can answer this question, and those who answer in a quick way, or those who answer the most of the questions, I will take those name in the end of the series for journaling. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.